Okay, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Hold on a second. We got black screen. There's loading. Okay. Well, it's loading, and let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Welcome to the stream, everybody. I am GreenLeader87. Tonight we're back with some No Man's Sky. We've been playing it this week, and last night, we had gotten to the point where we were working on trying to we were trying to set up a base so we could actually start getting a science expert, so that we could, in fact, continue on with the Artemis storyline. We're going to try and get as far along with that as possible. However, it does require us to build a little bit of a base, set up the terminal so we can get the science guy and whatnot. So we're going to have to do a little bit of exploring. We're going to need to go to the anomaly and get some more of the base components figured out. Once we do that, we can actually start setting up some nice, well, not some nice stuff, but setting up a decent base. Right now, oh gosh, there we go. So right now we just have the one, right? We've got the one room, and that's it. With the teleporter, we do want to. Just want to make sure that was on. Make sure I wasn't talking for no reason. We do want to add in one more batteries. This thing I remember was. What now? Interesting. It's 50 and 30 is being used. Interesting. Only 1 minute left of daylight remaining. This thing out. That thing is in fact out. Okay, and that's part of the reason why. Time until charge 24 minutes, and we've only got a minute left of daylight. Excuse me. So, we do at least have this right now. I think what we're going to do is we'll leave that there for right now. We want to go out to the. Oh, actually, we want to pull this thing out. Actually, how much? Oh, it's got plenty of power. Actually, we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna leave that there. We're going to go out to the anomaly. We're going to summon it so we can go ahead and get a bunch of that stuff researched, because there's a whole bunch of rooms I need to go ahead and unlock. Like hallways and pathways and whatnot, so we can actually have multiple actual rooms. So that's the plan. We're going to head out into space. I'm going to jump out just a little bit so we're not right next to the planet when we summon the anomaly. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Summon the anomaly. And there we go. We got plenty of stuff to mine for gold and silver and whatnot. And you know what? I think what we'll do, we'll also summon in our raider right here. Okay. Okay, so now that's taken care of. Let's go ahead and head into the space anomaly. Also, on a side note, guys, a big thank you to Alien King for the host. It was very nice of him to do. He did that just as we were starting. I know he's heading to bed. I usually stream while he's just off to bed, so understandable. Totally get it. So he's heading off to bed. We're gonna let him go to bed, but just a big thank you and shout out to Alien King 1970 for the very nice host. It's very kind of him to do. Okay. Yeah, so we need to go and we need to go to the base research station, and we need to get a whole bunch of stuff. And thankfully, we actually got a whole bunch of stuff when we did in fact get the. We went and spoke to his contact, Apollo's contact. It's kind of interesting. As I was saying, we went and spoke to the contact. We got a bunch of salvage technology, so we can unlock some more stuff. The things we want to do is straight corridors. Yep, there we go. Go. So now we can at least create multiple cuboid rooms. Ladders would be an eventual. I don't know if I care that much for it. Shutter doors, Paving, that's kind of cool. Square room. I'm just trying to think of the kinds of things I would need or would want. Like glass corridors would be nice. Yep. So that we can get windows. Large glass panel, that's fine. I do also want to get the square room, mainly so we can get the next thing behind it, which is the foundation. Go. Now the last thing I do want to deal with is I would want to deal with it's primitive shapes. I don't really care about that much about it. Metal, wood, agriculture. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's the hydroponics. Plantable seed. All these are very cool and unlockable. So we have the battery, have the solar panels. The wall switch would be very nice. Power management devices, which will toggle the flow of power when pulled, which is require both power and signal. Both power and signal wires to control a device. Interesting. Gas extractor. What? An automated gas harvester. Determine a site with the surveying upgrade for the analysis visor. Gas extraction rates and production gases will vary from site to site. Supply depot. Automated storage unit. Connect to a supply grid using pipelines. Automatically stores the output of various minerals and gas extractors. And there's the supply pipeline. It's very, very interesting. Floor switches, proximity switches, buttons, power inverter, auto switch, and of course the mineral extractor. An automated mineral harvester. Determine a site with a surveying upgrade for the analysis visor. Mineral extraction rates and production materials will vary from site to site. Requires power to function. Connect to silos with pipelines. Cool. I'm gonna get this wall switch. Okay. Now that we've got the wall switch, I don't really care about any of these other switches right this second. Illumination lights would be nice. With extended lifespan, blah blah blah. Colored light, I don't care about that. Lamp. Lab lamp. Decorations, again, don't particularly care about decorations. All screen decorations. Decal designs, Now aquatic's interesting. Now aquatic is very interesting. Watertight door. We're gonna need that to actually start building deep water chambers. Should be somewhat cool. Vertical glass tunnel, we're gonna need that. Oh, that's right, the geobays. Very cool. Ooh, and I forgot we have access to this stuff here. A medium refinery and a large refiner, as well as an antimatter reactor. This device can be left to harvest reality paradoxes and convert them into unstable antimatter. A user must monitor fuel levels to ensure continued operation. The resulting antimatter is safely contained, ready for use in all standard hyperspace power units. Cool, cool. See, now here's the landing pad. This is something I would definitely appreciate having. Storage containers. Cool, cool, cool. Short range teleporter. Low power teleporter, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Ooh, Galactic. Now that I'm excited for. Won't have to go running all over the place. Okay, so we've got everything that I would really like. Now we can pull up this exosuit thing. Not sure what my phone was vibrating about, but that's cool. Stuffing, how's it going? New to No Man's Sky, what does the agriculture do in this game? So, to be honest, I'm not sure. They added a whole lot to it. Before, it used to be just mining. So, like, it would make mining certain things a whole lot easier. Like, Mordite would be a whole lot easier to mine, and Corpite would be a whole lot easier to mine. Because basically you could create, and I'll show you right here, in the agricultural, or the hydroponics trays, I should say, you could use a hydroponics tray to grow stuff like Mordite and to grow stuff like Corpite, both of which were things that you either had to kill animals for, or you had to like feed them, and then they would kind of digest and crap out the Corpite. So instead of having to do either of those two things, killing animals or doing that, you could actually grow your own Mordite or Corpite or whatever. But since they've actually changed a whole lot, it seems like there's a whole lot more to it than that, right? That used to be like the old school way before the Beyond update. The new update is they've unlocked a whole bunch of stuff. Apparently there's now you can actually farm animals now, and you can farm like meat and livers and all these different things from animals now. I'm not quite sure what you can do with them yet. That's still a little further down the line for me. We're kind of just starting anew with a whole new update, so cool. Also, really nice decoration in the base. I plan on making, yeah, very cool. Yeah, there's some cool stuff you can actually do with the decorations and all the different things, and having hydroponics trays was definitely a nice touch to any base. Oh, I had no idea. I have not been up in this area before. That is most interesting. Where does this go? Okay. That's one of the NPCs on here. Okay, okay. That actually would make it easier if I just teleported down. I don't have to actually go. I can just go use that big-ass teleporter, and that'll take me home. Let's see what this guy has to say. That's actually pretty cool. He turned around and waved at the guy who was leaving. That's a nice touch. Have you stood before a portal, stranger? Felt it leech the life from your skin? Felt your chest burning as its power starts to melt your very being? Yeah, you have. Traveler narrows their eyes, staring at me, judging my claim. After a moment they nod. There's respect upon their face. I stood before the portal in Saltham Prime, but did not cross the threshold. I reached out. Only the tip of my finger grazed the gateway. The next moment I awoke aboard the anomaly. I was transformed. The gateway here does not have the power of the ancient monoliths, though it shares aspects of their network. Use it as you wish. Interesting. I personally want to make a base... Ooh, a base in the snow. I'm not sure why. I hear people hate it there, but I love the scenery. The scenery on the snow planets are very cool. But you also have to keep in mind that, a big reason why... Somebody putting in butts in the chat. I didn't even know there was a chat. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's for later. But the snowy planets can be very dangerous, just like the fire planets. Snowy planets, of all the ones, snowy planets are relatively nice. You just gotta make sure you're not gonna find one that's gonna have storms every 5 seconds. What now? What? This is... I have not seen this. What is this? System? Meissen base? Yeah, that's my base. Oh, those are actual players. Ah! Absolutely fascinating. These are other people's bases that are on here. That's very cool. You can actually go to their different that's very, very cool. Oh yeah, the chat is interesting. Touch. Yeah, I just know this is the first time I've been to the Anomaly several times over the last couple days. I have not noticed text chat until now, so that was kind of a cool touch. I'm glad I waited to buy this game. I feel it was perfect time to buy it. No, it's a good time to buy. I mean, if you hadn't bought it before, Beyond is a great update to buy it. To be honest, I'm kind of a long-time fan of No Man's Sky. I bought it. Actually, no, I think I was gifted it by a friend, but I was going to buy it anyway, so right when it first came out. I loved it then. I love it now. Back then, it was just more of like just a very chill space exploration game, and I loved it then. Yeah, no, it wasn't quite what anybody expected, and it was definitely lacking some of the features that was advertised, but I still loved it just the same. One of my favorite games. Yeah, it did. It had a rough start, and I think part of it was because they're a small team, and they were working with a big publisher, Sony, and I think Sony really wanted them to hype up the game. So it kind of resulted in that getting kind of a wonky start. It's unfortunate. It's just kind of what happens. You know, working in games can be a bit of a rough spot. But looking back at it now, you can definitely see that what they've done with it was what the developers kind of wanted it to be, right? And you can definitely see that this was clearly what they wanted to do with the game in terms of, you know, what they advertised was what their plan was initially. They just weren't able to properly put it out at the start. So yeah, it's kind of annoying that they did have to, you know, that they didn't properly put out what they initially advertised, but it eventually got there. And as I say, I mean, it's a fun game. It's definitely really nice if you're just looking for something just to chill and hang out with and not have to worry. The only thing that I would probably recommend is make sure your system can handle it, and definitely the game tends to perform better for NVIDIA graphics cards than they do with AMD graphics cards by default. And that's just because the graphics, not the graphics, but, well, yeah, it is the graphics, but they're using OpenGL, which NVIDIA cards don't or not NVIDIA, but AMD cards don't quite handle as well as NVIDIA cards do. I know this because I've had to. What? Oh, I should probably recharge, shouldn't I? Yeah, that's probably a good idea. There we go. I'm glad they just pushed all these updates. Fallout 76 is on the same path as No Man's Sky. Relieved that they don't leave the game as it is. Just take the profits. Oh yeah, I mean, that was the thing that I think surprised everybody. Nobody was expecting No Man's Sky to really continue. And I think they really kind of broke the mold with what they were doing. And just kind of the fact that they did, in fact, keep working on it, and they did continue to you know, support the game. So I think it's kudos to them for doing what they did, and yeah, I'm proud of them as a as a studio. So I'm very happy to support them and whatever they do. So that's so I got switches. I want to get a switch going. Yeah, there we go. There's a switch. There we go. And I want to be able to make it such that I can open and close the door without much issue. No. Oh, I'm missing iodized cobalt, which I can make pretty easily. Seriously? Apparently can't just leave stuff. For whatever reason. Need some iodized cobalt. I'm gonna need to go on a supply run pretty soon. I'm low on pretty much everything. Hey, Nori Pete, how's it going, dude? I am doing well. Hoping you're having a great night. What you up to, man? The one thing that would push it over the top for me is more interaction with the ships. For example, being able to be inside your ship. So to say, like, store items in there manually. I'd love to fly a freighter and crash it and onto a planet. Oh yeah, I'd love to see like like not even necessarily a freighter. I'd love to see like a mid-tier ship. Like these are obviously, you're right. These are flyers. Sorry, these are more fighters and you know, shuttle and whatnot. I'd love to see like a mid-tier ship that maybe can handle one ship. That'd be pretty cool. Grinding WoW like always. Nice. How far are you in that? What's your current level? Okay. I was needing the switch. I can now build that. Go ahead and build that right. There you go. And then we're gonna build some wiring from there to there, there to there. Ooh. Stefan Q, thank you so much for the follow. I really do appreciate it. Welcome to the Green Squadron. Level 35. I might try to push for 37 tonight. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, that does not quite work the way I thought it would. Maybe. Oh, I see. I see. I think I did. I made an oopsie. So we actually need to. Oh, no, not the building. Just that. Problem is, I'm questing in the zone that is popular. I see, and so people are taking your kills. Would be my guess. Let's go to wall switch. Put that there. Get some wiring going. Put that from there to there, and then put that from there to there. Hey!
KO 5 months.
Oh man, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub, 5 months. I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Oh man, so a lot of the stuff I need has 30 other people looking for it. Yeah. I understand. Hey, there we go. Now we have a door switch. Fantastic. Only I could actually do it from this side as well. Maybe I can? So that's kind of wonky that that's there. So how am I on everything? That's right, I got a whole bunch of planetary data. Need to go get some gold. Need to go get some more cobalt. And I'm super low right now on iron and all that stuff. Not iron, but carbon, dense carbon, all that good stuff. Oh, interesting. That gets me star bulbs as well. Kind of cool. Okay, we're just... Well, we're gonna see how much I've got. Takes me up to 400. I do want to convert some of it, though, to... condensed carbon as well, so we're gonna get as much as we can. what do I usually stream? So I'm a bit of a variety streamer. I try to stream multiple games at a time. So I tend to stream 3 days a week, Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. And I've been switching back and forth between 4 games: Hollow Knight, Satisfactory, Stellaris, and No Man's Sky. Hollow Knight, we're right at the end. I'm actually considering just calling it as it is. I've already beaten, I think, 3 of the alternate endings. I just haven't beaten the last alternate ending, which I'm not sure if I can beat. But I've beaten all the main game bosses, and I have beaten a lot of the DLC bosses. And at this point, I'm not even sure if I really want to continue. It's a fun game, but I mean, I'm at a point where I'm very much stuck on the game, so that we might be swapping that out for something else. If you'd like to see, generally speaking, I've got a so I do have a Discord link down below, and I'll put the link into chat as well. Discord. I've got in there a link to, well, not a link, but I put up a poll every week to see what you guys want to see me play, and then I'll play that game for that week, right? So this week No Man's Sky went out, so we're playing No Man's Sky. Next week it'll probably be Stellaris, Satisfactory, or whatever else we decide to throw in there. You still want to see Crusader Kings 2 stream? That would be interesting. I think what my plan is I want to swap out Hollow Knight for an indie game, preferably something that's not too long. So I want to do that. But when I'm done with the Stellaris stream, which I'm very close to being finished with, we'll swap that out for Crusader Kings 2, and we're done with it. Do I prefer any types of games? For the stream, I try to do like either multiplayer games, or not multiplayer games, solo games, right? Normally either story-driven games or something that's like somewhat strategic, or something. So like, I do like playing Stellaris. Stellaris was a lot of fun. I do like those sort of like grand strategy games. I do like story-driven games as well. I played Skyrim on here. Beat the main game a little while ago. About, how long ago was that? That was almost it's been almost a year actually since we played that. So RPGs, exploration games like No Man's Sky, or building games like Satisfactory. Stellaris? I assume that's what you're talking about, because that's the one that confuses a lot of people. Stellaris is very... there's a lot of depth to the game. It's very interesting. I really enjoy it. But it's definitely one that you have to keep track of a lot of different things at any given time. I liken it to basically like you're in a very busy kitchen, and you have like 20 different frying pans on the stove, and you're trying to keep each one at the right temperature. Basically, that's how I describe Stellaris. Not on well, okay, that's not true. Kind of on stream. I have played Fallout 4 a little bit on stream. That was years and years ago. I haven't done a proper playthrough on stream yet. And I think when I first started streaming, like 3 or 4 years ago, back when I was horrible at streaming, still kind of horrible at streaming, but like really, really bad at streaming. I was trying out some Fallout 3 and New Vegas. So I have played them. I love them. I think Fallout 3 was the first RPG that I really beat. So that's definitely something. I've played 3, New Vegas, 4. Haven't played 76. Haven't played the old school ones. And I love the Elder Scrolls games. They're all my favorite. Thank you, no repeat. I've improved a lot. I have improved a lot. I will tell you that much. Yeah, back in the day, I'd just be super quiet. Quality of the stream was not very good, and took me a long time to kind of get used to talking to the chat and talking to, basically talking about what I'm doing at any given time. Oh my gosh. This thing freaking attacking me left, right, and center. Yeah, I think we've got enough carbon. I think we've got plenty of carbon. Excuse me. Here's what we're gonna do. I want to go and quickly power... Well, not power. I want to actually make some more condensed carbon. Fallout 4 was amazing. 76 would wait a little longer. They're still working on some things. I played New Vegas when I was 10, so I don't remember anything from it. Love the Fallout series. No, yeah, Fallout is amazing. I'm still interested in Fallout 76. I know a lot of people kind of rag on it a little, but I've seen it. It looks very interesting to me. It's definitely more of a kind of a Rust, you know, Daisy, like sort of pseudo MMO survival game, which is kind of typical for that kind of genre. But I'm interested in it. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be more to my liking. Fallout 4 is probably one of the weaker ones. Fallout 76 at this point in time is bad. It's getting better. They just added NPCs. I did hear that. Yeah. Yeah, there's a wide range of opinions on Fallout 4. Some people love it. Some people find it... it's not as deep, to be honest. And I personally love it. I've loved them all. I don't really compare them. Each one is different. Each one has their own pros and cons. Fallout 4 did take a relatively big step away from their usual kind of setup that they had with Fallout 3 in New Vegas. You know, a lot of the changes were, you know, simplifying a lot of the mechanics, making things a lot more easier on the surface, but resulting in losing a lot of depth in the actual game itself. So that's from my understanding of kind of what's happened in or with Fallout. It's why a lot of people tend to have issues with it. Not to say that it's necessarily bad. It's just that it's a whole lot less complex than the other games. New Vegas is widely considered the best. Kind of depends. Depends on who you talk to. I should really say that. A lot of people like New Vegas, mainly because it was, for a couple of reasons, right? They added quite a bit of complexity, particularly with being able to craft different types of weapons and different types of whatchamacallit, not weapons, but ammunition, right? So you had like incendiary ammo, and you had armor-piercing ammo, and you had, you know, and different types of armor had different sort of complexity in terms of how it was affected by different types of armor. So like certain armor worked better with armor piercing, other sorts of armor worked better against incendiary and whatnot. So it brought a new amount of depth to the game. Some players really liked that, some players didn't. Which is why I say it just kind of depends on who you're talking to at any given time. Much more simple than the others, really. I don't know if that's the case. Personally, I thought Fallout 4 and 3 were top dogs, but yes, I've heard good things about Vegas. Vegas was made by a different company. Yes, Obsidian made it. And Obsidian is mainly made up of people who made the original Fallout series. So Fallout 1 and 2 was not made by Bethesda, it was made by another company. I forget what they were called, but it ended up falling apart, and the IP of Fallout was bought up by Bethesda. Now, a lot of the remnants of that company went on to form Obsidian Games, and kind of that's where you had that kind of connection there, because they clearly went to Fallout, or not Fallout, but Bethesda, and said, hey, we'd like to make a Fallout, and it's pretty close to what we were originally thinking for Fallout 3, so. There's a reason why people say Skyrim was the last good Bethesda game. This is why... The last good Bethesda game? I don't believe... I mean, Fallout 4 is a pretty great Bethesda game. The problem is they just keep remastering Skyrim. I just wish they'd make a new Bethesda game. I don't think Bethesda's made a proper game in a while. Elder Scrolls Online doesn't count. The reason why I say that is because it was not made by Bethesda. It was made by a different company altogether. I think it's called ZeniMax Online. It was a studio created specifically to make Elder Scrolls Online. I got everything up from here. Which is why 76 killed those Bethesda things, so hopefully they tippy-toe back to Obsidian. Excited for Obsidian's next game. They did. It was 76. Obsidian did make an awful Star Wars The Old Republic game, though. Which one are you talking? I played both of them. They were both really good. So I'm curious as to what you mean by an awful one. I played both of them. I really like both of them. But yeah, Obsidian, their newer game that's coming out looks very interesting, and I'm very curious to see how that one's going to turn out. And it seems almost like it's not like they're trying to ape No Man's Sky, but they're like, well, we could do a better one, basically. And I think that's basically what they're trying to go for. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm confusing it with a different game, but okay. I enjoyed it. I beat the second one. I beat number 2. I'd never beat the first one. I played a lot of the first one, but I never actually got to the end of it. But Obsidian has had kind of some hit or misses, that's for sure. Okay, you know, what is this? I believe this turns into ferrite, and I'd rather try and keep as much of it. Yep, there we go. The end of the game was a really weird, bad plot point that felt shoehorned in. That whole "you were the void" story was meh. Sure, I can see that. Okay, I think I'm actually just about done collecting all the stuff again. The other thing I was wanting to do, I kind of wish we could set up like a power terminal or power something. Maybe hold on. Not the wiring. Oh, good, that actually fixed it. Let's set up another. We need gold and metal plating. But yeah, some of the games are fantastic and others are not. Yeah, I mean, that is Obsidian in general. Yeah, some games are really good, some games, eh. I'm trying to think of what did happen with them. I don't think they were bought out by Microsoft. I think there was some talk about potentially buying them out, but I don't think they ended up doing it. And then I think they're just still working as an indie. They are basically an indie dev right now. That's what they're doing. Is the aquatic biomes boring? They look plain, though I'm comparing to Subnautica. You know, to be honest, I haven't spent a lot of time underwater. I kind of hate underwater. Generally speaking, I've always hated water levels. It's part of the reason why I never got into Subnautica. I have the game, I just never... Like, the first time I saw the Reaper in Subnautica was the first time I shut off the game and said, nope, no thank you. Uninstalled it and stopped playing the game. So... that's kind of what happened with that. But the aquatic biome, so like, my planet has oceans. The times I've spent underneath it, it's pretty interesting. And from what I understand, there is a whole bunch of gameplay that they added for the aquatic section. So like they added some submarines and they added some stuff that's like deep sea areas and underwater buildings and whatnot. So I don't know. I'll end up finding out at some point as I continue to build the base. No free slots, unfortunate. I actually need to go sell some stuff. I really should actually be using some of these. Microsoft had been looking to pick up Studio for a while. They did buy it. Oh, really? Now that's interesting. But I was under the impression Obsidian was still kind of that they were still basically fairly autonomous. Did they end up getting released from their contract? What happened there? Flying a ship in PC is ridiculous, especially in a battle. What do you mean? You're talking about in No Man's Sky? Oh, then again, I am using a controller. I don't play with mouse and keyboard for this game. There's a few games. There's a lot of games that I would prefer to play with mouse, with keyboard and mouse, but No Man's Sky is not one of them. I definitely much prefer the controller. Interesting. Microsoft is just funding them. Huh. So that. I wonder if they'll end up making some sort of exclusive for Microsoft. I mean, let's face it, that's mainly why they buy studios. Is yeah, they're gonna come after me for stuff. I don't particularly care. I enjoy the fights because Xbox needs better. 1,000%, 1,000%. They need better exclusives. I'm glad they brought back Gears and they did a Gears 5. But yeah, they need better. You cannot survive only on Halo and Gears. So, well, I'm trying to think. They had several exclusives on Xbox, but as of right now, I can't actually think of what they were. I'm not sure why my brain is just not thinking properly. I need to go sell some of this stuff. I have some fancy stuff that is very expensive and is probably going to trigger these guys more and more. Ship is really interesting. Let's look at Explorer. Hold on, I'll read chat in a second. There we go. Easy peasy. Defeated. Yay. Yeah, I need to go sell some stuff, which I think is what we'll do. I bet after the next game, the rest won't come out on the PS4. Part of the problem is, in general, they release their exclusives on PC as well. Right, because they're trying to do you know, the whole, you know, we're Xbox, but we do PC games as well. So, to be honest, that's actually fine with me. I actually don't mind that they do that. Particularly when they do this play anywhere. That is perfectly fine by me. That does not bother me. Right, it'd be a different story if, say, if they sold it on Steam as well, and then decided to do that. But I mean, I do like the fact that their whole Xbox Play Anywhere means that I can, if I want to play Sea of Thieves on PC or on Xbox, I can do it both. It does allow for cross-platform play, so. Exclusives are on PC as well. So why buy an Xbox if you have a PC and a PS4? I can't think of any good ones that were also on PC. Yeah. Well, for me, what I like about it is that see, I have an Xbox and a PC, and I know certain games are better on the PC, and certain games are better on Xbox. So, as a result, I keep certain games on one and the other. And personally, between the two, from my experience, Sony does not have as good of an online multiplayer experience as Xbox does. So generally speaking, when I'm playing multiplayer on console, it's much better on Xbox than it is on PlayStation, just from my experience. And as I say, certain games I play on Xbox, certain games I play on PC. You're right, it's not as bad as it was on the PlayStation 3. It still holds. So, but the reason why I do want to eventually get a PlayStation, and I want to get a PlayStation 5 when it does come out. You know, they have some of the best single player experiences out there. I mean, I can already think of multiple. Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. Let's see what else. Kingdom Hearts. Although I think Kingdom Hearts is on PC, isn't it, as well? Uncharted. Thank you. I mean, there are some fantastic single-player experiences on Sony, and that's why I do want to eventually get a PlayStation 5 as well. It's just one of those things, right? Gonna have your preferred console, your preferred gaming style. So, Last of Us, true. Last of Us as well. I always forget about Last of Us, even though I've seen it played like hundreds of times. Yeah. Everybody loved streaming that game a while ago. Ni no Kuni, but Ni no Kuni's on PC as well, so that's not exactly exclusive. But yeah, Horizon was really good. I really enjoyed Horizon. Until Dawn. Until Dawn? No. Until Dawn is also Xbox. Until Dawn. I'm sure that was also on Xbox as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Potentially. Let's see. You're right. It was an exclusive on PlayStation. No, you're right. You are very right. I don't know why I thought it was on Xbox as well. That's interesting. Yakuza is, yeah, that is definitely another great exclusive. Again, more to my point. I mean, if you want some really good exclusives, Sony has hit the mark this console cycle. They have done an amazing job. And I mean, this is the other thing that's rather interesting. No Man's Sky was a PlayStation 4 exclusive for a while. I mean, they although, as I said, I think that was to their detriment more than their help. But yeah, Detroit Becoming Human, that was an interesting one. Although the whatever his name is, the Quantic Dreams guy, his games are always interesting. And when I say interesting, I don't necessarily mean good. Like, they're technically very interesting and very cool ideas, but like not necessarily most fun, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but like, I played through Heavy Rain. Very cool experience. I'm not sure if I really had fun playing it, right? Very interesting, very unique experience for sure. And I think the other thing for me that always kind of turned me off of the guy was he always seemed to like look. Maybe this is my opinion, but it always seemed like he wanted to really just be a movie director, but never quite got into it, and so he started working in games instead. So yeah, he always misses the mark somewhere. I got onto it. Yeah, exactly. More like an interactive book or a TV show. Exactly. And that's why I say very cool ideas. Just not sure if it's the type of thing I'm interested in. You know what I mean? And hell, he definitely did I mean, with Detroit Becoming Human, he definitely did a much better job with the whole interactive storytelling than I think Telltale has ever done, right? Telltale, for a long time, was pretty much the king when it came to interactive storytelling, but I feel like Quantum Dreams, I think is who they're called. I think they're definitely so much better when it comes to that, because you actually have some real differences in outcomes depending on what you choose and how you're actually able to respond to everything. I just want to make sure I'm selling everything. Don't need tritium, silicon powder. Need the gold, we need the platinum, we don't need the lemonium. Lemium, whatever this is called. Sell that. We don't need the Herox. Okay. Good on that. I really should get a whole bunch of words, but I don't really have the time right now. I was wanting to get some more. That's right. That's why I was out here in the first place. If it's on sale for $20, for sure worth it. Oh yeah, definitely. I would say even $30. It is definitely worth $30. Is it worth a $60 price tag? Maybe. Depends on what you're really looking for. But definitely, if, as you say, like get it on sale, 50% off, 100% worth it. Where's my planet? That's not my freighter. That's some other person's freighter. Where's my base? Oh, it is over there. Okay. Oopsies. There we go. Planet was hiding behind the station. The choices matter more in his games. Yep, exactly. Still enjoyed Telltale Batman. I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. I don't know if I was happy with how it played out. Game of Thrones, disappointed by the complete lack of things mattering. Yeah. Just picked up Uncharted for $12 Canadian. Nice. The fourth one. And did I ever see Nathan? Yes. Oh, was it a film? I thought it was just like more like a little short. I don't know why you're not locking onto my base. Come on. No, I need to charge this thing just as I recharge it. Yeah, a short fan film. Yeah, I did see it. It looked really good, top notch. But it's funny though, it's kind of the meta, right? Because I mean, Nathan Drake is itself kind of a play on Nathan Fillion as a character, who is, you know, mixed in with like Indiana Jones and sort of like that rogue character. So it is kind of meta to have him then turn around and make a little short film with it. It's pretty cool. I actually remember hearing about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Didn't they announce that not too long ago? Like, I felt like that was kind of recent, right? Oh wow, I'm just getting a ton of gold from this. Yeah, we definitely need to find the big guys. He did it because fans asked for it. Interesting. Oh, you're talking about the fan film, right? Yeah. It makes sense. It really does make sense. And Nathan Fillion, he really is just such a cool guy. That I can definitely see him doing that just for, you know, making some fans happy. Where we need to find another big guy. Those are... It's not a big guy. We need to find... Big guy that won't break apart. There we go. Okay, it's a big empty one that gave me 2 gold. That is some hot garbage right there. Whoa. That's new. Oh, it's the freighters. Awesome. I love helping out the freighters. And you get the potential to actually have one. Eat us. How's it going, dude? Oh, it's stuff in queue on my mobile device now. Hey, how's it going, dude? Where? Oh, there we go. Incoming message. Great traveler, I request the honor of joining in travels. Not right now. Not right now, dude. We'll get you in a second. I need to first go fight these ships. That's kind of a cool looking fighter, too. Kaboom! Rocket to the face. That one's down. That one's down. Let's put this into the exosuit. Put that into the exosuit. One more. In a dungeon, BRB. Yeah, no worries, dude. What you gotta do? Gosh, I don't want to fire on him right now. There we go. There we go. Life form, something, something, something. Please dock for something aid. Okay. The life form who must be the captain of the freighter looks greatly relieved. They gesture as if to welcome me aboard their vessel. Have you heard of the game that's coming out soon, Journey to the Savage Planet? You know, I have not. Who's making it? I'm curious. Make your way to the bridge to speak to the commander. Now let's go talk to this guy. He's probably going to offer us his ship. Maybe he'll just give us a reward. I don't know. But we'll see. But no, I've not heard of Journey to the Savage Planet. Something, 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 something aid, something traveler. Korvax, something, something. Lights flicker rapidly across the lifeform's visor, and their head nods imperfectly forwards. They seem to be showing me gratitude. They gesture towards the control panel of their freighter as if to suggest I take command. Let's inspect the freighter. Let's compare it against mine. Mine is... So 15 slots with 4 tech slots. Not sure, don't think it's anyone big, but they are doing it with Sony. Looks like it's going to be out on PS4 first. Interesting. Oh, no, see, we've got a much better one. We have an A class with 19 slots, whereas this is a C class with only 15 slots. Yep, nope. Sorry, buddy. Captain looks at me happily, almost relieved. Perhaps the burden of... Well, command... Leave. I'm not buying this thing. This is not my freighter. Thank you, but no thank you. Sony funds so many indie stuff nowadays. That's true. That is very true. And to be honest, I've been seeing a lot of indie stuff everywhere. I mean, Sony, Nintendo. I mean, if you look at the Nintendo Switch, I would say about a good 75% of their titles are all indie titles. It's kind of crazy. And then Xbox is also doing quite a lot of indie stuff as well. So, I mean, I feel like all the major publishers out there and console makers, I think they're starting to realize the importance of the indie market. At the same time, it does seem like there is now a flood, basically, of all the indie games as a result. So, that's the only kind of issue there with that. Let's go find... Yeah, we needed to find a big guy. Oh, there we go. I think that's it. It's a big guy? No, this is a big guy. Yep, it is a big guy. Mainly with silver. Just watch the trailer. You could say it's No Man's Sky. Oh, if No Man's Sky was made by Ratchet and Clank devs. Kind of interesting. Only 176. Silver I should actually send to the freighter. Platinum we'll send to the freighter as well. Gold we'll keep on us. Oh, there's another big guy. Interesting. It's a platinum. Platinum asteroid. Oh, there's another big guy over there too. Sorry, I know this isn't particularly interesting, but we do need a bunch of gold. Because I want to eventually set up... Well, not eventually. I want to set up basically 3 or 4 solar panels. So that we can have my base easily powered. You don't have to be continually worrying about it. Let's break this thing down. Let's send that to the freight. No. Send that to the freighter as well. Good. Still have my A-class freighter. Also, I think mine looks better anyway. I'm glad I didn't make the change. Also, speaking of which, I am forgetting completely about my own freighter. No, not the station. It's my freighter. My base. Freighter should be right next to the anomaly, and yet I can't seem to... There it is. Farming for me is a very satisfying of many games. Feels rewarding. I know what you mean. I do like it. It's just something you can kind of just chill out to. Just hang out farming stuff. One thing is it does, you know, it's not necessarily the best for streaming material though. So I usually try not to do too much of it. Okay, but the reason why I came to my freighter is there is a, hopefully... No, we're not going to go speak to the commander. We saved it, but my freighter's better. So I'm not going to change it just for that thing. We had two... Oh, gosh. Okay, so this one's back. It is damaged. Fleet command online. Calibrating fleet. Let's debrief the commander. Mining team extracted 4,400 tons of ore from the planet Ricket M42, caused temporary cave-in. Crew able to tunnel out successfully. An EM2 arrived in the Henscomp system. Local Corvax trader offered shares in their deep water mining business. New drill site provided highly successful 35,000 units. Planetary salvage team located freighter crash site. Cargo pods appear to have been picked clean. Close examination revealed additional smuggling pods hidden inside fuel tanks. Interesting. Recovered large amount of valuable goods. 2 neural ducts. Fired upon while surveying something system. Deployed reflective shields. Hostile fired. Redirected to destroy their own ships. Scanned debris. Discovered outstanding bounty. 36,000 from that. Interesting. Fascinating. Even though they had an emergency, I recalled them home for repairs. They continued on with their quest. Fascinating. Salvage frigate module. Huh. Fascinating. Ducts. Huh. Crazy. And then 70,000 units. Interesting. All fun and games till some ship tries to rob you. Exactly, right? Yeah, that happens a lot in No Man's Sky. Fleet command online. Let's debrief this guy. Traded goods between planets, profit margin 144%, so we got 29,000 there. Traded goods between planets in that system, got 28,000 there. Purchased cheap goods during the surplus on that, sold on at profit of 154%, got an additional 28,000 units. Docked at space station, contacted Merchants Guild envoy to contract to transport bulk quantities of minerals to neighboring system. 31,000 units. Awesome. I think what we got 100k? Yeah, 118. Nice. Okay. Let's actually go. We need to go repair that ship. Did what I wanted to do. Where was that? Hold on. Where was that salvaged neural ducts? What do we do with this? Technology module harvested from the remains of a large interstellar starship may be collected from freighter crash sites or salvaged during frigate expeditions. Unless it's useless in its current form, a research station aboard your freighter may be able to convert it into usable technology. Interesting. I like that. Very, very cool. Okay, here's what I think we're gonna do. We're gonna go land on that other... on the one freighter that's broken. It's damaged. I'm gonna go repair them. It's not that one. It's the other guy who's constantly useless. Not what I wanted to do. So, that's rather interesting. Let's try this again. Not the restore point I wanted. Let's take off. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello. Let's get a little more distance, shall we? So that's the trade, and that's the mining vessel. So let's go ahead and get them repaired. We are in need of a friend, traveler friend. Our ship is damaged and we cannot fix it alone. Will you help us? Yep. Yep, let's do it. man, seriously? Six spots we gotta repair. How much? Silver too. 50. Okay. How much silver do I actually have on me? Not a lot. In fact, that may have used all of it. Actually, I wonder if it'll pull from the freighter. Oh, we actually have 4 in line here, so... Okay, so not... Actually, it is this one. Okay. Oh, Expeditionist traveled 75 KS. I'm not sure what that KS is supposed to be. Okay, it is definitely pulling from the freighter stash, so that's good. That's the reason why I was pushing it there. Is this on? So this is on PlayStation, or not PlayStation. This is on PC, and I'm playing with an Xbox controller. So I'm on PC, but I have a Xbox One controller. And yeah, I like it. PC's interesting. If you're, you know, if you have the right stuff, it's very easy to have it working right. But I know with this latest update, it kind of screwed over my game. I'm using an AMD graphics card, and while it works fine now, it wasn't working fine when they first patched it. When they first put out the update, it actually kind of borked my game. Actually put on the lights, shall we? But I mean, they've been really good. I mean, within 2 weeks, they got it fully patched, and it's now back to normal. So, happy with it now. But I was initially kind of pissed. Because it just wasn't... It was very... Like, it took like 30 minutes to load the game. No, my graphic... No. Right now I'm just playing on standard, and that's mainly because I was doing whatever I could to try and get the game to run properly. So right now just everything's set to standard. I could probably up the quality quite a bit. I just didn't want to, just because I've been dealing with the performance issues. And this is the thing that bothers me about it is that No Man's Sky is very poorly optimized on PC. It's a great game. I think it's fantastic, but it's just very poorly optimized on PC, particularly if you're using AMD graphics cards. It does. No, it does. It looks really good. But I'm using the just right now the standard texture quality and standard everything. Like, if you really pay attention to it, you'll notice that some of the textures aren't quite really crisp. They're kind of smudgy. Like, you look there, it's kind of okay textures. But at this point, I don't really care as much about the textures as I do about the just the overall look and feel of the game. I don't really care if some of the stuff is lower texture. There we go. Freighter is repaired. And we probably now need to go get some more frickin' silver. Although not quite yet. Not quite yet. We need to go down and we need to go continue making the base. I can't believe we've already been going for over an hour. And we've barely made many or any real base changes. Okay. Actually, I just want to see what this thing is. Silver. Kind of appropriate, since we used a whole bunch of silver to repair all that stuff. More tritium crystals. Please tell me that's gold as well. Another tritium hyper, whatever you call it. Oh, what's wrong? So you're putting the sad face out. What's wrong? You're doing all right? So, it's kind of hard to say, per se. There are 4 main types of ships, right? There are shuttles, explorers, haulers, and fighters. The ship that I'm in right now is a fighter. And they each have different stat boosts depending on, you know, what type of thing. So like being a fighter, it has an improved, not only has improved shields and improved maneuverability, as well as improved damage potential, but they tend to have much lower whatchamacallit, much lower inventory slots available on the actual ship. I was sad about the construction progress. Yeah, we've unfortunately gotten sidetracked. That's pretty much this game, though. You know, as a whole, it's a great game, but it's so easy to get sidetracked. You're like, oh, you gotta go get this, and you gotta go get that, and you gotta go, you know, go get this element so you can build stuff. Because the entire reason why we went on that whole little escapade was so that we could, in fact, actually make a few more of these. Right? There we go. Oh, I need the metal plating, which we can thankfully make several of. So we're just gonna make 4 of them, so we can build 2 of these. 1 and 2. And then we're gonna put some wiring from there to there, there to there. I have no idea if that'll actually work, if I can link them like that, but we'll see. 13 more minutes until power is back up again. We'll do that. "17 minutes until drained, and 13 minutes of darkness." So actually, we'll go ahead and delete that. Delete that. I do want to put it right here, give it a little more space. Hope that actually works. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's hooked up. Well, it's okay. So here's the interesting thing, and I love the way this works. You hook it up to the building, and then the battery is itself hooked up to the building itself. So I think automatically, because it's in the building, it gets charged. And the battery's going to last for about another 17 minutes. Kind of. 18 minutes? I'm not sure what's going on there, because it's increasing rather than decreasing, so that's throwing me off. Time until drained. I think that means time until charge? I don't know. It's throwing me off. So I don't know. that's clearly not correct. Speaking of this, let's check this out. Yeah, went away, unfortunately. That's fine. Yeah, we saw that. What I wanted to do. I was wanting to actually expand out. That's right, that's right. So I was wanting to expand out this way. No, no. Oh, let's do structures. Do large. We want to have a... Ooh, that actually will kind of work. Pure ferrite. Okay, so I'm low on the ferrite. Charge that, and we're gonna put in some ferrite dust. We don't want to do all of it though. Let's do half of it. Do about 200. Should be good enough. We'll do 250. In the meantime, we can go ahead and start picking up some more. Oh, and thankfully, I can actually start picking up pure ferrite this way as well. I forgot I've got the advanced mining laser. And that got me a geode as well. Definitely like some of the added features that they've put in with this update. Hearing me talk has given you the urge to play Farming Simulator. That's awesome. Yeah, I've never actually gotten into Farming Simulator. I always see it though, and it's always listed as a very high-ranked simulation game, so something I should probably consider looking into. That's also a question. Which year? Good question, Yeet. Or would you prefer? Would you prefer me to call you Stuffin' Q? You do enjoy it? Nice. Yeah, simulation games are a lot of fun. 2018 is the one I'm playing. Nice. Was that a good year? Do you think? You're not sure which year you're playing? Oh wow, we actually got 250 from that alone. Let's go ahead and do that. Ferrite dust just from that. Nice. Just gonna scan this. Go. Stuffin'. Okay. I shall call you Stuffin' then. They're all good years. They just add more stuff every 2 years. They launch the game. I see. Okay. So they don't have a 2019 then? Is that what I'm picking up from that? And carbon 800. We've got 400 dense carbon. Can actually go to the cargo. It might be 2017 and 2019. Okay. So you might be playing the 2019, yeah. Game I'm currently super excited about to come out is Transport Fever 2. Very cool. Steel Games, welcome to the Green Squadron. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having a great night. Thank you very much. And welcome. I am Green Leader, and we're playing some No Man's Sky. And I'm hoping that that's going to run out in the next couple of minutes. But this should produce 150 between the three, so I may actually want to... I think what we'll do is we'll actually end up deleting this. And no, let's get no, not the decorations. Tech, power. We'll put in another battery. Go. I'll have 2 batteries. As depleted, that's fine. But yeah, Transport Fever 2, that seems like a... I've heard of that. Is that mainly a trucking game, or is that all sorts of stuff, right? So, trains, trucking, what else would it be? 'Cause I'm not sure. I've not actually played the game. All of it. Oh, okay, very cool. Trains, planes, automobiles, and boats. Very nice. So is that... Okay, so I'm curious. Is that more of like a management game? So you have to worry about getting different ships and different things to the correct port they need to go to? Or is that more about actually driving the things themselves, if that makes sense? Hold on, we got special species we need to actually... There was something here. Interesting. I don't know where they've all gone. You connect stuff. So, like, you connect city by passengers to... I see. I see. That makes sense. It does not look like an armored clam. Ah, because it's behind it. Now I'm getting it. Passenger trains, planes, or boats in the city. You make bus routes to get them to where... Oh! See, now that's interesting. Now, I thought it was actually a... Here, I thought it was actually, like, more of, like, supply routes. You're actually talking about just, you know, literally, like, you know, trains and buses and all that stuff. That's very interesting. Ooh. Okay. In the city, you make bus rounds. Oh, yeah, yeah. But there's also goods, like you can connect a farm to a food factory. I should probably go get some air. And then the food to the city. Okay. Then you have to take the food to the right stores in the city. Okay, that's pretty cool. So it's almost like a city management game, except instead of worrying about the... You know, it's almost like playing, what's that game? City Skylines, except now instead of worrying about... Hello. But instead of playing... Sorry, I got sidetracked by that. Instead of actually making the roads in the city and whatnot, you're actually you're using the city, a pre-built city, and you're creating the supply paths. That's kind of pretty cool. Not kind of cool. That is pretty cool. There's industry, residential, and convenience in the city. Very cool. And the city grows. Nice. The real question is, does it simulate construction and the horrible drivers that tend to come along with that? It's not a true simulation game if it doesn't include that as well. Oh, we haven't scanned this yet. That's too bad. It's not a real simulation game then. I'm sorry. It doesn't simulate horrible traffic patterns and construction. I'm sorry. Just not the same. More people going to the city and faster the city grows. I see. I'm excited for the 2. This is giving us more options for traffic. Very cool. So maybe it will. Maybe the new one will in fact actually give the sufficient power, which is fine. I should actually do. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here again. But I'm gonna go ahead and actually pick this guy up and place him here instead. So at least they're right next to each other. Cities always get back up super bad. Okay, I see. I'm heading out for the night. See you next week. Yes. Have a great night, Yeet, or Stuffin. Thank you so much for the follows, and yeah, I will be. So tonight's the last night for the week. I'll be back on Sunday, and if you join the Discord, you'll get to vote on what we'll be playing on Sunday. So, thanks for hanging out, man, and thank you for the follow. I really do appreciate it. Have a great night. So we're going to be able to make more one-way streets. Okay, interesting. So you do have some control over traffic. Stuff like that to help break up the backup. I see. Okay. What was I trying to do? I was trying to actually build... That's right. No. Structures. Yes. You can expand the base. We are going to add in... See, I can make glass actually pretty easily. I've got everything I need for it. In mods we do right now, but they're adding all that to the game. Excuse me, and making it better because it'll be coded this time. Yeah, that'll actually be pretty nice. It's definitely nicer when you can get the mods implemented into the actual game itself. Interesting. I can't do anything with that. Let's go ahead and put in. Where is it? Silicon. There it is. Just gonna make a ton of glass right now. Well, we'll make 5 and then we can grab a bunch. Oh, here we go. We're gonna start getting some light. Nice. Very interesting. Storing up there and there. So it's combining between the two. Very interesting. But now that it's actually fully day, it's actually... Wow, it's producing quite a bit. So that's producing 50. 14 minutes left of full sunlight. 50. That's 150. And 11 minutes until that'll be charged. Yeah, there we go. That one. 11 minutes till that'll be charged. So there'll be 2 batteries that should be charged by the end of the day. Very nice. And then hopefully with the 2 that should actually last the night. That's right, I was wanting to get the glass, which we were making. There we go. We'll just make another 5 more. Now, where should we put it? Shall we put it here? There. Okay, we'll just put that there. And then why don't we go ahead and make a... Nice. And we get the nice view. Fantastic. I do want to put in a window as well. Oh, I can put it all the way around. That's so cool. Silver. Fascinating. So it actually uses silver to make it. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and put one right there like that. I'm also somewhat curious if I can... Wow. much longer? Another 10 minutes. What was I wanting? I was wanting to test out and see if we can't put in a solar power generator in here, and if that'll actually work. We are missing one of the platings. Build another one. This is just a test. See if this will actually work. Huh. It does. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Okay. It probably shouldn't be working like that, but it does. And I'm very happy. Very, very happy indeed. It may be because... I'm actually curious about this. Let's see if I delete that. No, it's still working. Means we don't actually need to... That is very nice. Oh, that is very, very nice indeed. Okay. Get back to the window paneling, please. Thank you. Nope. That one there. Nice. What I am gonna do. Delete that. I'm gonna put in a cube room instead. Right? And I think this way we can actually put in a bit more. Where is... Nope. Specialists. Station? No, no. Terminals. Construction terminal. Yeah, we can put... And, yeah, we can put all 4 in here. That's fantastic. I love it. So we're gonna put this guy in here. Oh. Hire a base overseer. Okay. If that is the case, I don't think we need any of these things here. Sorry, I keep forgetting what I need to actually do. We're gonna go ahead and delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Okay. And we're gonna put our power stuff in here. Power, here's another solar panel. And there's 4. I think it's amazing. That's fantastic. So with that said, that's creating 200. It'll take 3 minutes to finish charging. And 8 minutes left of daylight, so that's kind of perfect. So I think what we'll do, let's go ahead and grab the glass from here. Thank you. Trade that to there. Put that in the starship. And then what else can we actually do here? We can actually... I don't know, what can we do with this? No. What about this? What do we do with the copper here? Let's go ahead and turn that into chromatic metal. Because I know the problem is the moment we leave, that's going to actually lose out on power for whatever reason. Nothing. Okay. What happens if we put in salt? Turns it into chlorine. Interesting. And what happens if we put in condensed carbon? Takes it back to carbon. Interestingly enough. So there. We do need some more pure ferrite. That actually produce... Oh, interesting. That produces ferrite dust. Cloud cover. I'm curious to see what that'll do to affect the... No. Did not affect the solar panels at all. Quite fascinating. Wow. That's nearly at full power. I don't actually have the space to put in another battery. But still, that's fine. That should last the entire night. And then, because I've got so much power, I won't be using anything extra for that, so... Interesting. I love the changes. The things that they've done to really improve this game have been amazing. I really do love it. I wonder if I actually even need... Hold on. I do, surprisingly. I do actually need power for that. Fascinating. Sitting pretty nice at 95%. Very cool. Okay, let's actually head out. See if we can't find... Well, hold on. Let's leave it as is. We'll come back and we'll do some stuff with that there. But now that we've got at least the base set up, we have the terminal set up. Let's go ahead and head out. Gonna go to the station, try and find ourselves a Gek. Ghost in the Machine. Expand your staff. Yeah. We need to find the terminals. There is the space station. Oh, and I really should be using these. Stress signal. Secure site of interest. Ancient artifact site. Well, we should actually use that one. As soon as we find a base guy, then we can go on. Then we can go and do that. There we go, this guy will probably do it. Is it really you? Yeah, there he is. Forgive me. I've been searching for a long time. I'm contracted to aid you in this and every cycle. Don't worry, everything was paid for a long time ago. I'm quite above board. As the stranger speaks, a smell assaults me. A pheromone infesting my brain, giving me memories of places I've never visited, of actions I never took. Of myself in a mirror, aged and alone, of this Gek cradling their fallen brethren, of a bargain made many years from now, the contract signed across the cosmos. Vision ends, and the Overseer remains. The Overseer promises to expand my base, allowing me to recruit other workers. They require a construction terminal to get started. Got it. There's something compelling about this Gek. They shall feel at home in my home. I'll be at my station before you know it. See you soon, friend. I love the Gek. I really love all the aliens are so cool. I've always enjoyed the different aliens that are actually here. And we can also sell our stuff. So we have Herox, which we don't actually need, for 73,000. Don't need Lemium. Don't need Periphium. Don't need salt. Don't need the star bulbs. Glass we're gonna keep. Let's go ahead and sell the tritium hypercluster. Sell. Oh, actually, that's it. Okay. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Okay, now that we've done that, why don't we go ahead and actually try out one of these planetary charts that I got. I don't know if these are useful for that one system, or if they're useful in any system. And this is the one that we actually wanted to do. Monolith has been detected. And it is... that away. Oh, and it's on my planet. Not quite sure why it doesn't allow me to lock on to what I want to. It always seems to go for anomalies or whatever. And we can go ahead and recharge that. We have so much tritium now. There we go, 17 seconds. Toaster Pastries, how's it going, dude? Hoping you're having a great night. Welcome to the stream. Your name sounds really familiar. Have you been here before? I was thinking you were somebody else. Then I thought, wait a minute, I'm thinking of Peach's Tattoo, not Toaster Pastries, so... I love your name, though. Toaster Pastries are delicious. A while back, you were playing Hollow Knight. Yes, that's right. I thought you were right. I thought you or you sounded familiar. Sorry. Horrible at talking. Horrible at talking tonight. I've been just mumbling and saying stupid things and just yeah, you know, just being me. But I hope you're having a great night, Toasted Pastries. Thank you so much for stopping by again. Always nice to see people coming back. Yeah, we've actually gotten right to the end of Hollow Knight, by the way. We've beaten the whatchamacallit, we've beaten the Hollow Knight itself. We've beaten the Radiance. We beat the Nightmare King Grim. We have found our way to Godhome, but I'm stuck at the one boss, and I'm very much considering not finishing it. But I have in fact actually beaten all the bosses of the main game and all the bosses of most of the DLCs, so yeah, No Man's Sky is pretty good these days. If you're interested in getting it, this is a good time to get into it. They've added a lot, they have fixed a lot, they have done a lot. I think that's probably it. They have done a lot. Multiplayer's a thing now. I think they're still trying to hone their multiplayer, but it's definitely it's 1000% improved over what it was when they first properly introduced it. So Okay, here we are. The past is dead. Reconstruction impossible. Something something. Blue light pours from the monolith as if a curtain has been dropped within. I hear a gentle hubbub of voices and catch a familiar smell in the breeze. I cannot remember my home, but I know that this doorway leads there. I ache for a past I cannot remember. Every inch of my soul wants to make the leap back. I look to the skies and the infinity beyond. Can I truly abandon my journey when it's only just begun? We're gonna resist the temptation. I try to capture a memory of these sensations before turning away. The spirits that dwell here admire my decision. I am rewarded. Learned nothing new. Okay. That's, okay. Did get Korvax casing, though, and my standing with the Korvax has increased as well, so I'm happy with that. There's still so much on this planet that I still need to explore. So this I've made as my home base. It's actually a really nice planet. It's not a planet that is, what's the word? It's not hostile. It's not exactly the right word. It's not hostile. It's just that it's, the climate is very friendly. Let's put it that way. It's not cold. It's not hot. It's just right. It's a temperate climate. It's a nice place, and I love the scenery here. It's red grass, green trees. Yes, thank you. It's not harsh. Thank you very much, Nori Pete. So it makes for a nice visual on the planet, as well as being relatively I'm thinking the right word again. Free of any horrible storms, and you know, I haven't found any aggressive life forms yet. So I mean, so far this has just been a really nice planet to land on. Yes, it is safe. It is safe. Thank you for having my back. I do love how colorful this game is. Yes, it is. It's temperate, right? It's lacking in any real extreme weather. And that got us some more salvage data. There's also lots of stuff you can find on this planet. This has been like some of the most salvage data and knowledge stones I've seen in a while, so I love it for that. Ooh, is that a plant I have not scanned yet? Yes, it is. 37,000 just for scanning a planet. Sorry, not a planet, but a plant. It's fantastic. A lot of space games are afraid of color. That is true. Yeah, I was playing Elite Dangerous a while back. It's a fun game, and the gameplay is very fun. It's very in depth. Oh, new animal. Scan it. Scan it. There we go. That's awesome. But yeah, the gameplay on Elite Dangerous is very deep. It's very intricate. The space flight simulation on that game is fantastic. I love it. But the planets are so boring. They're not very interesting to go to. And really, the point of that game is more of, you know, interaction with the civilizations and the different, you know, political factions and whatnot. It's less about the actual exploration of the game. Afraid of my shadow? What? I mean, you're afraid of your shadow. Is that something to do with WoW, or is that something else? Ooh. Those are some nice things down there. I don't want to go for them yet, though. What I'm trying to look for is A, things that I haven't scanned yet, and B, salvage tech, which there's one right there, and knowledge stones. I was trying to be funny. Okay, okay. I see. You don't mind. There we go. Oh, wait. Where's it go? Where'd it go? I got sidetracked by the plant that kept trying to bite me. Knowledge stone there. No. No. Knowledge stone there. Hold on. I got lost, unfortunately. Ah, there we go. Let's try this again. Gonna have to start digging here, actually. That thing is buried deep. Holy cow. 'Cause it's in a cave. Okay. Okay. I see where you're going with this game. Ooh, we got 4 with that one. Very nice. These are all different minerals. Plant, though. Is that oxygen? It's oxygen. What the hell is that doing down there? Oh, man. I know, right? Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I love this game is just finding stuff and you know, and yeah, you do have a lot of repetition, but you know, every once in a while you find something that's truly different or truly unique, and it makes it all worthwhile. However, I think I need to go back up. So I know it's procedurally generated and all that, but do the changes you make to the planet, digging, harvesting, sync globally? It kind of does. With that said, I haven't really found a lot, and to be fair, I haven't done a lot of exploration on the different systems. Even just finding a planet that hasn't been, or that has been found by somebody else is pretty rare. More often than not, you're finding planets that are relatively newly found, and you'll probably find that as you get closer to the galactic center, this is where I started digging? This is where I started digging. I could have... I'm an idiot. There's a hole right here. Okay. Okay. See how it is, game. But I'm sure as you get closer to the galactic center, as people have been, you know, traversing... Because the main goal of the game is to get eventually to the galactic center of the galaxy. And then something happens when you get there. So the idea is that as you get closer to the galactic center, you'll start to run into more and more systems that are found by other people. And as you do, I assume what'll happen is that, you know, all those sorts of things where you're, you know, messing with the terrain, you're digging, you're building, you're whatever, you start to see all these interactions that have happened on the planets. So I assume that is the case, particularly now after the next update. Not, it's called Next, right? It's not. I don't mean as in the next update. I mean as in it was called Next, right? No Man's Sky next. That was the one that truly introduced proper multiplayer. I think they also did a full reset up of the reset of the galaxy. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's what they did. So I don't know about now, but when the game was newer, no. No. Yeah, back in the day, you know, when the game first came out, they didn't have any interaction. I believe they do now. So I believe now, if you do find an existing planet, or that was found by somebody else, there's a good chance you're probably gonna find stuff. You know, well, a decent chance. I mean, keep in mind these planets are huge. I mean, see, my base is over there. It's a 10-hour walk for me to actually get there. If I were to try and walk there, which I can, it would take me 10 hours to get there. And along the way, I'd find buildings and I'd find all that other stuff. So. Did they say that? I don't know if they actually said that. I remember they were very hush-hush about what interactions you could actually do with the multiplayer. And it eventually came out before it was released that they said that actually it's not true multiplayer, it's ambient multiplayer. They did, you know, that was actually said before the release of the game, so I have a hard time saying that they necessarily lied per se, but yeah. There was definitely a lot of overhype and a lot of overpromise. That's 100% true. Yeah, and exactly, they definitely implied it, and I think that was the biggest thing, is that there was a lot of implications that basically what they were releasing back then is basically what they have now, right? I think what they have now was what they had planned, but they just didn't have it at that stage. So, you know, it took them a while to get to that stage, and I think that's the thing you have to keep in mind. You know, I mean, keep in mind they're also a very small studio. They're not, I think it's like 12 people, 15 people that actually work there. It's not a big studio. It's a relatively small indie dev. And I'm sure that they've probably grown since the release of the game, but initially, you know, it's a small dev. The fact that they even did what they were able to do initially was fantastic. But I think a lot of the overhype came from, as you said, there's implications that things are going to be a whole lot more than what they actually were. And I think part of that was brought on by Sony saying, you need to hype this up and you need to get people interested. You know, because they were funding them for like a good 2 years before they even released the game. So, you know, they wanted to make sure that their investments were going to be worthwhile. But anyway, as I was trying to say, the whole interactions though, even if you do find planets that are, you know, that have been explored and landed on, there's a good chance that you may not actually find you know, places where people have interacted with the planet, just because it is in fact a planet-sized planet, right? As I was saying before, I landed relatively close to my base on the planet, right? If I try to walk there, it would take me about 10 hours if I actually was walking there, right? See there, arrive in 10 hours. That's with me running, that's with me doing... If I flew there, right, if I got to my ship, I'm gonna go right now to do, that would probably make it a whole lot less, but it would probably still be, you know, a good hour or so if I just flew it in the atmosphere. So these are planet-sized planets. I think the way they've done it is very interesting. So it's all procedurally generated. So with the seed that they have everything generated, and you can come back to pre-existing spots. And it's kind of like Minecraft in that it keeps track of your changes to the planet. Nope. That's what I'm sorry. There we go. It keeps track of your changes to the planet and not the planet as a whole, right? The planet as a whole is procedurally generated, and then as you get closer to the area where you've already been to, if you've made any interactions there, it'll actually load that in after the fact. Like I've revisited certain areas to see if I'd forgotten anything, and as I got there, initially it kind of loaded everything, but it kept it very like low poly detail until I actually got closer to it, and then it picked up that I had actually dug there already, and then loaded that in. So you do kind of get it, right? You do. It does kind of show it to you that it's doing it as you've. Oh, I landed right on something. As you're coming into it, right? It shows that there's kind of a bit of a glitch in the terrain, and then as you land, it then loads in that actual change to the terrain. I'm probably not explaining it correctly, but yeah, no, exactly. It is very amazing considering the whole scale of the game and all the planets and everything. Let's see, how long? 1 hour. By boost, less than an hour. 50 minutes to actually get back to my base. As I said, along the way you'll find stuff. Speaking of which. Yeah, there was a glitch in the Matrix. Yep. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, nearly landed in a tree. What? Oh, that's just like a little... Surprised it didn't damage anything. That's just... It looks like a little storage spot. Not cool. Not cool, plants. Oh, I should actually scan this thing. $37,000. Oh, these guys are new? I have not seen these guys before. Huh. And they're little bouncy guys. Very interesting. You see what I mean? These guys are unique for the... I don't think I've seen any other creature like this on the planet. So like a half fish? So that's pretty interesting. The Geffy Grasslands. Nice. I thought I already scanned this, but apparently not. Go to my discoveries. I need to actually upload all this stuff. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's still 5 animals that I have not been able to find yet. Let's actually go look at the animals here. Here's this thing. Has adapted to the temperate climate and humid atmosphere. Social animals, they show great care in tending to their young. Their sick, exceptionally fine teeth allow them to selectively eat, chewing on the most nutritious parts of otherwise tough and hard to digest plants. Additional observations Tapeworm host. Oh, that's pretty funny. That thing's pretty cool. It's like almost like a pterodactyl, but it's kind of feathery. We saw this crab thing underwater. They're social. They're also scavengers. They feed upon the soft downward drift of plankton, feasting upon the dying remains of tiny organisms. Additional observations. Tapeworm host. Tapeworm hosts here. Oh. Interesting. Found primarily on the grassy plains. Their lives are short. Saltwater fish spend their days in a desperate swim to find a willing mate. Scavengers, they feed upon the soft... Okay, interesting. Yes, you can. You can actually make them your pet, so... Yeah, this thing was kind of weird when I first saw it. I thought it might be dangerous. The eyes freak me out. It's like little... And I'm trying to think. It's not quite a goat. It's almost like a... It's actually like a rhino, almost. Very tough, leathery skin, not a lot of hair, some spines, but then instead of an actual, like, mammalian head, it's got like a mollusk head. Interesting. But yeah, so each thing you find, once you scan it, you find out what type of bait it uses, and then you can craft bait with... So let me see if I can't find some of the bait. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I was under the impression that you can actually craft... There we go. Food pellets. Basic creature bait can be placed directly or accessed via the quick menu. Basic bait will attract creatures and cause them to yield Fascium. That's right. And with the analysis advisor, you can actually use specific bait allows for advanced creature actions. So you can make them a pet. You can actually ride them now, which is pretty new. Bait is enzyme fluid. And I don't know how to craft it yet. But I can eventually basically craft it. Once I craft its specific bait, I can then actually make it my pet, and I can ride it. Although this one's a little small to ride, but you get what I'm saying. They're certainly bigger animals that you can actually ride if you give it the right bait. Chewing at the head of ripe grasses with what? Yeah, I know, right? The secret mouths, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That is accurate, good sir. Secret mouths, indeed. What is this? It does actually, doesn't it? It does kind of look like a kind of cat. It's got a very interesting stripe. Look at it a little closely. Oh, it's got that sort of like striped fur, similar to certain tabbies. Where is my ship? There is my ship. Knowledge stone over there. Okay, we're just gonna grab this condensed carbon, and then we're gonna head back to the base. Yeah, exactly, the fur. It looks a lot like the typical like tabby cat coloring. Yeah, I've scanned those already. I have not scanned this guy. Also enzyme fluid. Bait details recorded to catalog. Interesting. So let's take a look at... See, oh, hello. Enzyme fluid. I have no idea I just don't know how to create it. I think that's just the problem, right? I can craft basic. I just can't craft specific kinds yet. Anywho, sorry. Getting sidetracked as per usual. Where is my base? There's my base. In fact, we're gonna go into the upper atmosphere. That'll help us go a lot quicker. So now that we're in the upper atmosphere, we can travel a lot faster. That will, in fact, actually make our travel time a whole lot easier. From what I understand, entertaining curiosity and getting sidetracked is 75% of the game. That is 100% accurate. The game is it's very much built for just exploration and just kind of finding cool stuff. That really is it. And then they added a whole bunch of stuff, like they added like an entire mission section. So now they have some pretty, like, initially there wasn't any missions at all to the game. Everything was just go and explore. And then I want to say the second major update added a whole bunch of missions and sidetracked, side quests and side missions and all that stuff. And it made it a whole lot more interesting, added a whole lot more story and lore to the game. But it's still very much the same game where it's super easy to get sidetracked. Wait, what time is it? What time is it? Hold on. What is the local time? Local time is nearly... it's late in the day. Current time is 18, so it's 6 p.m. So this isn't doing nearly that much. 14 minutes. Oh, dark hours. Yeah, so we're now in the dark hours. So now we're going off of battery power. See, here's the thing. Time until drained is very misleading. It's not accurate at all. And here's the Get guy that we just hired. You have so much to learn, so much to see. And this place will be our home amidst the infinite. Take the glass and let starlight flood our jolly home. I already have so much glass as it is. How much glass did you give us? Oh, man. Interesting. So that gave me a new... Huh. That gave me actually a new formula for making glass. But I can already make glass because I can do... Okay. Everything pours through glass in the end, but there's time enough for that. There are other things that we need to do. If you prepare chromatic metal, I will use it to calibrate science terminal. Suitable for a Korvax entity. Korvax have suffered terribly at the hands of my people. Be kind to them, I beg you. The Overseer asks me to gather chromatic metal. Preparation for the recruitment of a Korvax scientist. He is already making themselves useful. A science terminal, a new Korvax guest, all for a handful of chromatic metal. Which I probably already have. Got 715 chromatic metal already. I also wonder what we need. Nope. Nope. Let's go back to structures, large. Wooden panel. I just don't have the silver needed to do it. Really want to, though. 93%. I mean, that's kind of good. It's taking its time depleting. Yeah, they're both at 93%. Anyway, I should actually have enough to be able to give him the, There you are again, Traveler. I'm sure you have the required materials this time. The Overseer speaks strangely, implying that we have performed this encounter before. I have no memory of such meetings. I ask who paid them for the service they are performing for me. They laugh and claim that my child did, many years from now. I do not know what they are talking about. The Overseer asks me for the chromatic metal. Perfect friend. I know you would succeed. I knew you would succeed. Just what I need to finish the science plans. There we go. Okay. We have littered the universe. Agreed, Traveler. This planet is no exception, but there is much that can be done with litter. Make your way to an abandoned structure and harvest the data from their terminals. I shall use it to fashion us plans for a storage container. Okay. See, I'm not sure how much this is actually still viable, because so much has changed. So before, in order to get a lot of stuff, like glass, in order for me to get the glass formula, I had to work with the construction terminal guy here. And then I had to find frost crystals to actually make it, so... Nope. Yep, there we go. Like, I had to... excuse me, I had to find frost crystals to make it. But now, in the last update... In fact, I don't even think it was the last update, it was the one prior. You actually get silicate from just digging, right? So if you do that, you get silicate powder, you can put it in the refiner, and that actually creates glass. But a lot of the formulas that he's going to give me in providing stuff for the base, I can actually unlock via the terminal and the salvage that I can actually get. So I'll show you that right now, and then I think we'll call it a night. Actually, before we go there, I want to go check out. So, I didn't know this initially, but when you have these frigates, particularly the mining frigate, if you travel here every so often, they'll actually give you stuff just from coming here. Here, as he says, the crew have been busy surveying and processing both planetary deposits and local asteroids. The minerals are yours should you want them. Let's collect the cargo. So that just gave me a whole bunch of magnetized ferrite. Stuff that I would normally have to refine down from regular ferrite. Where did it put it though? Probably on my freighter. Yep. Go. Can't really transfer. So this is pretty nice. So now in the game there's freighters. Yeah, exactly. I do kind of have minions. They're freighters and frigates. There's my other frigate. This is my main freighter right here. As you travel the game, you can buy freighters, or if you find a freighter that's being attacked, you can go in and help them. And if you successfully defeat all the attackers, you can then go and land on the freighter and go talk to the guy who you helped, the captain, the freighter captain, and he'll actually give you the opportunity to have that ship, have that freighter as your own capital ship. And then once you have your own freighter, that allows you to not only have more than one ship because you can actually have more than one ship you can pilot. But you can then have these sort of like little minion ships called frigates that you can then send down on their own missions. Then they'll, when they go and do their missions, they'll get you money, they'll get you minerals, they'll get you all sorts of stuff like that. So it's actually a really cool find. I have yet to land on this thing when it's not damaged, and I'm curious if it'll actually give me something if I land here. There we go. Welcome aboard, traveler friend. I'm pleased to report local trade scouts have secured valuable deals across the system. The profits await you. Very nice. That got me 100 chromatic metal. Nice. That's not bad at all. Not that I really need another 100 chromatic metal. I've got so much as it is already. 675. So that's the nice thing about the freighters. They added that, I want to say 2 or 3 updates ago. It's been a while. It's been a while that this has been available. And then the anomaly. The anomaly is the coolest update since. So the anomalies have always existed in the game, but in this latest update, they completely overhauled the anomaly. It used to be just a single room with these 2 NPC characters, and that's it. But now it's a multiplayer hub. So you see all those white dots in there? Those are player ships. So these are other players who are playing the game. And this is me basically joining their multiplayer session. So almost everybody in here are actually other players. Like that guy running over there. He's actually another player. He's going to, what is the Nexus? That's the Nexus over there. And that's where you can actually set up multiplayer missions with friends or with people that you meet here in the hub. Or in the anomaly, I should say. And there's all sorts of things here. So like you can come talk to this guy. He's a Quicksilver merchant. So there are 3 types of currencies. There's units, nanites, and Quicksilver. Units are for buying ships and buying supplies. Nanites are for buying technology. And then Quicksilver is for buying stuff from here, which are usually unique, why is my brain just not working tonight? Unique, like, customary items for your player character. Cosmetics. My gosh, my brain is just on. It's having a horrible night tonight. And like this guy, he'll give you nanites for all the new stuff that you scan. You can go talk to him, and he'll give you a bunch of nanites for it. So you give him the data, he says he'll give you the nanites. So I didn't really get a lot of new planetary data, so he only gave me 30 nanites. But when I went in here initially, I gave him the planetary data. He gave me like 300 nanites because I had scanned 3 planets. So for every planet you visit, you want to come back and talk to that guy. This is another guy. He'll give you, I want to say, units. Maybe he gives you nanites somewhere around. Traveler hopes to make progress. Traveler tests themselves. I will help in exchange progress for progress, or wealth perhaps. Experience or materials, both valid today. Salvage technology. Ooh, okay. Let's transmit milestone data. So as you play the game, you hit certain milestones. You have seen much, but do you understand? Not for me to know, but please take this. Yeah, he gives me nanites because I got a couple more milestones. They're almost like achievements for doing stuff in the game. And the last one, I do want to see. I got salvage technology. We're gonna do this one. A fair exchange. We matched. Interesting. Okay. And this guy, you can trade some of the stuff that you get from animals and plants. But yeah, initially in the game, the anomaly was just this guy and this guy in a room, and that was it. So they have done a lot to really upgrade this game and upgrade this specific part of the game, the Anomaly. Oh, see, now that's a cool ship. I've not seen one like that before. That's a really cool combination of parts. Yeah, you remember the old school Anomaly? Yeah, it's cool. It was cool then, but it was really cool now that they've actually changed it. And it's particularly interesting to see all the different player ships that are actually here. There are some designs that I've never seen before. Like even here. Like I'm looking at this guy's ship. That thing is damn cool. It's almost kind of like the size of like a TIE fighter, and kind of mixed in with these two arc wings. I'm not even sure how you describe this, but it's a very cool, interesting design. And here's the front of like just your standard ship that you get to start the game. Very cool though. Even the name of it is very cool. Darth Vader's starship. That's pretty cool. This is actually a pretty interesting ship too. Really cool Explorer. I love the wings on it. And this thing looks almost like something from Halo. Yeah, the ships in this game are really cool. Here's just a standard starting ship. This is an Explorer. This is a more standard Explorer that you'll normally find out in the game. Anywho, I think we're actually going to call that a night. Let me just go grab a save quickly. Want to make sure all those nanites are stored properly on my save. Yes, yes. We're exhausted, waiting for stamina to recharge. Here we go. Cool. So we got the save. That's going to be it for me tonight, though. Thank you guys for hanging out. I think it's been a lot of fun. It's been nice to hang out with everybody. Really nice to see people talking again. It's always nice to chat with people in the chat. Let's just go through and say a bit of thanks to everybody. Thank you, obviously, to Nori Pete and to Stefan Q and Yeetus, although I think that's the same. That was the same person, right? I think Yeetus and Stefan Q. Stefan was the same person, just on two different devices. Thank you, of course, to Toaster Pastries for stopping by again. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out, man. And yeah, let's also see who else is in the chat. Obviously, Nori Pete is still here. Toaster Pastries, Windsock. I don't know if that's a person or if that's a bot. If it is, it's a new one. Either way, thank you guys for hanging out in the chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to let's go through here. Oh, I missed a raid from Sandy Feet. That was insane. I do apologize for that. Thank you for the raid, Sandy Feet. Thank you for the follow from Steels Games and the follow from Stuff and Q. Really do appreciate it, guys. And thank you to that's right, Norway Pete subscribed for 5 months with Twitch Prime. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you for the support. He's been following for quite a while and hanging out, so thank you so much, Norway Pete. Yeah, man, glad to hang out again. See, there I go again. I'm having a hard time talking tonight. I don't know why. But yeah, thank you for hanging out, Toaster Pastries. I really do appreciate it. It's nice to hang out and see you in the chat again. I do remember you from Hollow Knight. I'm horrible with names and I'm horrible with remembering people sometimes. So I think that's it. Hey, if you guys want to also check out, or if any of you are not following, please consider hitting that follow button. And if you'd like to see when I go live, Twitter and the Discord are the two best places to see that. I'll always announce in those two places, as well as on the Discord I'll usually put out a poll every week so that you guys can choose what you want to see me play for that week. And I'm trying to think what else I was going to say. Oh, YouTube. If you would like to see how we started with No Man's Sky, or with Hollow Knight, or Stellaris, or Satisfactory, I've tried to put all the VODs onto the YouTube. There's a link below, or you can use the link in chat. But check it out if you'd like to see how those streams actually started. So anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys. Have a great night, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Later. Do it from here. Later, everybody. Have a great night.